Imo Guber, how come Osu gave about 18,000 votes? This election is a charade, Samuel Anyangu says. Samuel Anyangu, now wow, that is the PDP candidate for the Imo State governorship election. How can Osu say they have 18,000 votes? So what are we saying? Huh. So does it mean that the 80,000 votes is more than the accredited voters or less than the accredited voters? We need to understand. But let's dive into the details to understand what Samuel Anyango is trying to say. The governorship candidate of the People Democratic Party in the Imo State election, Samuel Anyango, has criticized the Independent National Electoral Commission over the outcome of the election in the state. Speaking on Monday, according to a report by Vanguard, Samuel Anyangu, who was with the Labour Party governorship candidate Atta Achono, said Inec promised a free and fair election, but he is so ashamed seeing what the electoral body has done. Samuel Anyangu wondered how the All Progressive Congress was able to get 18,000 votes cast in Osu local government while describing the election as a charade. So he said, I feel so ashamed about what the INEC has done. INEC promised a free, fair, and credible election, but empty vehicles were moved to Owerri for voters from Osu local government area. They used armored vehicles and security operatives to carry out these irregularities. How come Osu gave about 18,000 votes? This election is a charade. There must be a review of this result. How come a police officer was caught on video carrying ballot boxes? That is how bad it is. Because I tell you, the government, they use armored tankers so that when they carry it, even if the people shoot them, they will not, there will be no impact. Yeah? So, that is the problem we have. INEC is compromised. INEC is a sham, and they are working for APC. So APC government has put both INEC and the judiciary and the security operatives in their pocket. And they're paying them with state-owned resources. And that is how bad our system has degenerated to. Okay? So how can you say you are organizing a free and fair election, but look at what you did? The same thing they did during presidential election, all other elections for the local government chairman, the House of Commissioners, the House of Rep members, and all the elections they did for the legislators were correct. But the one they did for presidency became the worst. And then they shut down the portal. How can the portal be having glitches for collating presidential elections, but did not have glitches for all other elections? Can you imagine that kind of thing? So in the same way, INEC is never ready. In fact, people are saying that INEC under Mahmoud can never produce a good election. And the only reason they don't want to remove Mahmoud Yakubu is because they're paying him heavily to do their bidding. I tell you, Mahmoud Yakubu must have collected hundreds of millions of nairas and dollars to do this dirty work. And because they are disenfranchised, they are poor, when they see big money like this, they sell their conscience. I tell you. So now, the INEC chairman is already doing a very dirty job for the APC, and he will stand by it. And the APC government will tell him nothing will happen. We will defend you, not you. Don't worry. We will defend you. And the man will do whatever he's doing with absolute impunity. Okay? So this one now, that Samuel Anyango, just like Atan Achono, is saying that they will prove it or that they will do this, I wonder how this one can be proven. Because these people, all of them are the same. Even when they see you proving a credible case, they will not accept it. They will tell you, go and bring evidence. Even when they are seeing the evidence you have brought before them, they will say, go and bring evidence. Your evidence is insufficient. Your evidence is not substantive or not substantial. Go and produce evidence. So it's a very dirty system already. It's very disheartening that we're in this kind of state or in this kind of country where we cannot, do anything on merit or on merit. It's a very bad one. Nigerians are getting frustrated. Everyone is getting frustrated. So Samuel Anyango of PDP in Imo State is now saying that this election will need to be reviewed. Who will review it? Even when they said RF Porter had glitches during presidential election, till today, have they investigated it to tell the people what the glitches were actually and what they're doing to prevent it from happening again? Nothing. So we have a system that is already compromised, that's already rotten, nothing good. Can anything come out of a rotten egg? No. In fact, it will smell bad and scare people away because nobody will stay where rotten egg is broken. That's exactly the way Inec is now, and that's the way our system is, electoral system in Nigeria is. It's a very terrible situation, I must tell you the truth. Okay. People are already reacting to what Samuel Anyang is saying. Somebody said you just did 419 to yourself, not Imolite. Can you imagine? The other person you say you have said it all. Also, the headquarters of Imo crisis. It must be a joke. Can you imagine? Ask your polling units and others what happened or didn't they sign relevant result sheet after collation. Enough of these false cries of electoral fraud without provable evidence. I tell you, they will tell them that they don't have evidence. Let them go and bring evidence and stop crying wolf. Eh? The whole world will be wondering that though Nigerians don't want APC, but they win election almost every time and everywhere. What is the secret and the magic? There's no magic. It's all about fraud, it's all about rigging, and it's all about all these shenanigans that are doing. It's all about paying and buying everybody with state resources to everybody work for them. So INEC is a company and not a government institution. It's a private company. APC private company. That's what it is. The issue is PDP and Labour Party weaponizing of the public with aptrobia. What is APC phobia? Can you imagine? APC phobia. Okay. The results have been written before election. That's exactly what they did both in Imo and Kogi State. They already wrote the result, like in Kogi, some parts of Kogi, election started 9 o'clock. Right at 9 o'clock, the results were already coming out while the election was just starting, So they already wrote the result. I think it's not in Imo State nor Kigwe. They said they already had a pre-printed election report that, the papers they were collating and, thumb printing. They had the fake election papers and the original election papers. How can you do this kind of thing? Yeah? How can you do this kind of thing? So the plan is that they will take the fake election papers to the polling units for people to use, while they will be thumb printing the original ones, and when they are collating, they will swap it. That's exactly what they did. Yeah? Wow. Somebody say, you come on social media to shout, don't you have polling unit or polling agent? If you have taken the form EC8 to count to prove your point and stop all this drama all the time rigging, if it's true, bring your proof to the court. Social media cannot give you justice. What is glaring in Imo State before this election was that both the PDP and Labour Party candidates did not prepare for this election. I don't know the magic they are relying on to win the election. They are not on ground, no visibility before the election. We didn't see them campaigning nor trying to woo the Imo State electorate. They tried to shortchange them by not giving them their dues. Can you imagine? Supporter of evil, that is what it is. These people on ground, Achon was making noise from beginning. He was there. The truth of the matter is that the state government is using the state-owned resources. I tell you, they use the state-owned resources to their own advantage and to their own favor. That's exactly what they did. Now, wow. So that is the state of things from Samuel Anyango of Imo State from PDP, saying that the election was a charade and it requires to be reviewed. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.